Hello Culers, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal and welcome to the match preview of Villarreal versus Barcelona, as in Xavi Hernández's third match in charge. Barcelona will be taking on Villarreal away from home, what should be a really big test for Barcelona away from home actually, and certainly, again, in this game we'll be looking to see more progression from Xavi's side, as well as hopefully a big 3 points in La Liga to keep up some pace towards the top 4 of the table. So let's see how this one goes. Without any further ado, let's get in to the match preview. And this one will be coming to us live from the Estadio de la Cerámica at 9 PM local time on Saturday night for this game. And of course, as I did say, guys, it should be a really tough away game for Barcelona. It usually is when we visit this ground, so I'm expecting all the same this time around. And right here is how the La Liga table looks coming into this game. Barcelona currently sits 7th. We are now 6 points off Atletico, who sit in 4th place, which is of course in the sort of area that we want to get to. Whereas Villarreal actually are having quite a surprisingly poor season. They sit down in 12th position, although they are just 4 points off us. And certainly, as I've said a few times now, I am expecting still a really hard game tomorrow. And shall we actually begin with Villarreal, because I think it's quite interesting to talk about Villarreal this season. They are having quite an interesting season overall actually. As I say, they are surprisingly, in my opinion, underperforming. Of course, they're still under the top coach, in my opinion, Unai Emery, who of course led them to a really successful campaign last time out where they won the Europa League. They of course got back into the Champions League, but I think this time around something just hasn't clicked yet. I think it will as the season goes on, but coming into this game still, they're not quite there. I did watch Villarreal on Tuesday. They played at home to Manchester United. They lost 2-0. To be honest, they probably should have won that game, but they just couldn't finish. They had nothing really in the final third, a bit like us actually, but they still did play quite well in my opinion. And what I would say about Villarreal is this: I'm still expecting this to be a really hard away game for Barcelona. In fact, maybe one of our hardest away from home in La Liga so far. They've got very clear ideas. They're very clean with the ball. They've got really top players like Pau Torres, who I'm a big fan of. They've got danger men such as Danjuma and Yeremy Pino on the wings. But I think the main man they're missing right now, guys, is their talisman. It's Gerard Moreno. It's the man you always look to when you're talking about Villarreal, and he is still going to be out for this fixture. No Gerard Moreno is what we're hearing for the game against Barcelona. And for all of their good play, they've certainly missed him in the final third. A bit like us in that respect, we're missing the main man to convert goals for us. Villarreal have got a similar issue. So, look, what I'd say is this, guys. We know Villarreal are a good side. Xavi will know that. They've got a good coach, good players, clear ideas. But I think also we should have that area of confidence coming into this game. I really do think that, because look, the facts remain. Villarreal have struggled this season. They're down in 12th place. They're 4 points behind us, who have, we've had a really poor season. We know that. So we've got to enter this game, guys, not ignoring the facts. We have to be strong. We've got to attack them and make this one a good game. And moving on to ourselves, Barcelona ahead of Xavi's third game in charge as coach. I think right now, actually, the sensations around Barcelona are very mixed. I really want to say that because I think, look, Xavi's start, how has it been? For me, it's been really impressive. I think ideas-wise, tactically, how we've started to develop as a team already has all been really good. But of course, on the other hand, guys, we literally can't score a goal. Not from open play anyway. We've got several players missing too. And of course, we come off the back of a really detrimental, potentially historically detrimental result in the Champions League against Benfica midweek. So that's why things are really mixed right now. It feels like there's progression. Xavi's come in, he's done a good job in my opinion. He's started well with new ideas, with a clear mind. But also, we are where we are. We're still struggling in La Liga. We're on the verge of being eliminated from the Champions League. So things are very in the air right now, is what I'd say. But what I would say is this: Xavi will not think that things are in the air. He has a very clear mind, and I think he recognises that an away win to Villarreal on Saturday would be a top statement for Barcelona. This right here is a great chance for Barcelona to pick up what I think could be our biggest statement win of the season so far. So far this campaign, we've literally had no statement wins at all, actually. So on Saturday night, let's see what we can do. Team news-wise and regarding how Barcelona could line up, this one is really hard to predict, honestly. I'm currently recording this on a Thursday afternoon, so look, a lot can change in 48 hours, but I think right now we at least have a good idea of who's fit and who isn't. Ansu Fati's still out, Pedri's still out, Aguero and Braithwaite are still out, and potentially also Sergi Roberto will still be out for this game. But everyone else should be available. So I think the question is, how is Xavi going to line up? Does he go for that 3 back again? Does he go back to a more traditional 4-3-3? And actually, with some B-team players coming through, the likes of Ilias and Abdi, who of course are now back available for this sort of game, we've actually got quite a lot of options. And that feels quite weird to say, actually, because for the past month, really, we haven't really had more than 14 players to pick from, and we're never going to start. But for Saturday's game, guys, it's actually quite hard to predict. So let's go through it one by one. Of course, in goal will be ter Stegen. He's actually made a really good start on the Xavi. So again, let's hope ter Stegen can make some really big saves for us in this sort of tricky away game. I've gone for a back three. I think I tried to plan the lineup and I thought who's going to play, who's not going to play, and this is what I've gone for. Araujo on the right, Lenglet on the left, and Piqué down the middle. It's how we started against Benfica. I thought it worked to an extent. Look, you could take Lenglet out and go to a back four. You could, of course, play Eric Garcia, Oscar Mingueza. There's players who can play here. And, of course, I think Piqué could also do with the rest. But let's see how Xavi goes. I think he could go for something like that. Then what I've gone for is this, guys. This is the rest of the chaos of the team. Busquets, De Jong, Nico, Gavi. I couldn't take any of them out, so I've started all four again. That does take up a lot of spots, so that means, of course, we don't have many other options to work with. On the left there, as you can see, I've got Jordi Alba keeping the width, and on the right is where the options come. I've got Dest there, but don't take it for granted. I've put Memphis up front too. But I think here is where we've got options, guys, and certainly this is where Xavi would have to pick what formation he goes with and what personnel he goes with. You've got the three at the back, say. Then you've got those four in midfield. Then you've got Memphis up top, Alba on the left, but who starts on the right? You can have Dest there and he can play more inverted or even just keep the width. You can, of course, bring in Ousmane Dembele if he's fit to start. I think if Dembele's fit to start, he has to be the winger, but to be honest, guys, the news was that he was already rushed back, actually, against Benfica because it was such an important game, so it's pretty wise if we don't start him. Another option, of course, would be Abdi, who played really, really well against Espanyol. He certainly could be worth a start. And then, of course, Yusuf Demir, who started on the right wing against Benfica, actually, I thought, did quite well, surprisingly better than I thought, so that's another option. Who would you play and how would you line up? It's quite up in the air. There are loads of options. 4-3-3, 3-4-3, this crazy, Al-Assad formation that Xavi has, which I actually quite like. How would you guys do it? And I think the question is also, how will Xavi do it? Because I think he's got a lot of options now, and he could take a lot of routes with this one. So let's now begin to wrap up the match preview with my score prediction, and I've gone for a big one. I've gone for Villarreal 2, Barcelona 3. I'm not sure why, to be honest. As I say, Villarreal have been struggling for goals. Barcelona have been struggling for goals. Why have I predicted 3-2? Just because I think it could be that sort of game. It could be a game where both teams set off, both teams attack, both teams leave spaces, and then we can profit. But let's see what happens, guys. Hopefully we have chances in this game. A win would be big. If we drop more points, that's going to be tough. We can't keep dropping more and more points. So look, this is going to be a really hard away game for Barcelona. It's a really important game for Xavi's Barcelona. So let's see how we do. I think the lineup's going to be key. The options off the bench now are looking a bit better too. So say we need impact. We've got Abdi maybe. We've got Dembele. That's good news. We've got options there. But as I say, that's where I'm going to wrap up the video. I'll be there on Saturday night, guys, of course, for the match review of hopefully a Barcelona win, a statement win too in La Liga. But let's see how we do, guys. Big games coming up. Villarreal away is certainly a tough one. And I'll see you guys later. Hopefully you enjoyed the match preview. Leave any thoughts in the comments down below. And goodbye.